Spirituality is not an aesthetic, it's a way of life and a way of being. And I think a lot of people feel as though perhaps the spiritual path isn't for them because they don't look a certain way. But spirituality is within all of us. And I think that there's a lot of people out there who do a good job of adopting the aesthetic and looking the part, the white linen and the retreats and all of the other sort of, the crystals, dripping in copper wrapped around crystals. And that's, it's part of it for some people. But it's actually a lot more about the way that you move through your days and how you interact and respond to people. See, when I started on my spiritual journey, I felt like I really needed to look a certain way. And I've had spiritual experiences ever since I was a child, so it's always been there for me. But when I had my proper first spiritual awakening in like 2012, and it was like my whole world just like got blasted open. It was like, well, I don't know, you see the videos where you have people that are colourblind and then they put on the glasses and it changes the quality of the colour through the lens. That's kind of how I would describe my awakening. And I just started seeing life in this whole new perspective. And from there, I started delving into so much spiritual stuff. And I seem to be finding a lot of content from people who all kind of looked the same. There didn't seem to be many people that looked like me that were representing in the space. So I was thinking, like, do I need to start wearing all these crystals? Do I need to start dressing in only linen? And don't get me wrong, like, crystals have got incredible qualities, powerful qualities that we can work with. And linen as a fabric as well is a nice high frequency fabric. It's natural. So there's all these benefits to these things, but you can be wearing all the crystals and all the linen. But if your spirit isn't representative of the same high frequency qualities of the crystal and of the linen, then you're essentially dressing up. I don't want to say a turd. I just did. Yeah. Because it's not just in the how you look, it's in the how you present. And I think there's a lot of people that turn people off spirituality because people can't find themselves relating to it. And it can be a bit off-putting. So then people think, oh, you've got to be a certain way to be spiritual. But actually, you can have cane row in your hair and be dressed in black and still be spiritual. You can, and then it's again how you're moving in the world when you're out and about. Like, does your spirit match what you're projecting? And I think sometimes like the image comes first, because when we step out onto this spiritual path or we have these spiritual awakenings and all of a sudden like you've got this brand new perspective and you're like, oh, what can I get that represents this spirituality? And let me just put that on, or let me start saying certain words or acting a certain kind of a way and try and align myself with this, this spiritual way of being. But the real work is in how we show up. And that takes a lot of work. It's more than throwing things on. It's more than projecting a vision, an image of how we want people to perceive us. Because I think you'll notice, like when you come across people on YouTube or on social media, and they can be looking the spiritual part, but inside you'll feel there's a disconnect, that the external appearance isn't congruent with what they're saying. And another thing about this spiritual path is like, once you break free of these kind of the shackles of your mind and society and how we've been conditioned to believe, and then all of a sudden you start to see beyond this illusion and you wake up to it, and then it's like everything shifts. I've actually forgotten what I was saying. Everything shifts. What was I saying? See, this is the thing with going off on a tangent. Let me think. So you start waking up and you want to help people. You're like, I can see through this illusion now, and I want to help others to do the same. So you're trying to do your best to wake people up and to start sharing the knowledge. And some people will be ready to meet you there. Some people will be ready to meet you there, and others won't. And I think a lot of the time, because we're so quick to want to then go forth and share this spiritual wisdom, we haven't done the part where we embody the wisdom that we've learned. Or, yeah, it takes a while to assimilate this expanded sense of self. It takes a while to make sure that you're not just walking the walk and talking the talk, but you're fully embodying the energy. And I've been doing the work for over 15 years. And I've been like in the background, knowing that I want to share, but feeling a huge sense of responsibility with that. Like, I'm all about ethics, I want to help and support people in the right way. I don't want to earn a little bit of knowledge, just enough to make me dangerous, and then run out into the world and try and save people. Because I think there's a lot of people that are doing that. There's a lot of people that have got just enough knowledge to make them dangerous in some senses, because with spiritual work comes a great sense of responsibility, not just for yourself, but for the people that you're working with, which is why it's important that we don't just jump to action. We have to sit and make sure that we are fully embodied and walking the walk and not just talking the talk before we start trying to share with other people. And for a long time, I felt like, I should be showing up on social media a certain way. If I want to be helping to support people with embodying their spiritual light, then I need to be floating around looking really spiritual. But that's not me. When I'm at home, I'm in my jogging bottoms. When I'm out, I'm in my jogging. I'm a very casual sort of person. I didn't want to put a persona on. I wanted to show up just as me, to show you that you showing up just as you is enough. And it's in your unique essence and your unique sense of self. That's the reason why we're all here, because we've all got our own unique magic, but everybody's out there trying to be clones. Looking, they're doing that spiritual thing. Maybe that's how I should look. Or even so many young women nowadays, and this is not to throw shade, but like the Kardashians have set some sort of precedent for how so many people look nowadays. And it's like everyone's going copy paste, but forgetting about the unique magic that they bring, in their own special way. So it's having the confidence to show up as yourself and be like, yeah, I am enough as I am. And what I have to share is not about how I look or my aesthetic. It's about how I show up and embody that wisdom in the real world, and then to support other people to do the same from a place of having done the work, having looked at the shadows, because there's a lot of people out there that are teaching that have not really gone into the depths of their shadows, and you can feel it. But I think people are so quick to want to jump up and show social media what they can do and project these images out to the world without fully sitting in the depths of the shadow. And it's this feeling as though we always need to be showing up. Like if you go onto my Instagram, it's not consistent. I've been walking the fires of life deeply for, as I say, about 15 years. And I've known that I've wanted to share and help and support, but I've also known that there's been so much more that I needed to learn and embody before I got out there. So I've been teetering on the edge of it. So I'm not showing up on my social media looking like a spiritual goddess, but I've been walking the walk and talking the talk and like embodying that in my real life. So this is all just to say to you that as you are, you're enough. You don't need the cosplay. You don't need to, it's not about what you look like. It's not about what you wear. It's about how you treat people in the world. It's about how you show up for yourself. It's in your ability to sit with the discomfort look at the shadows, see where there's work to do. It's not all just about this outward projection. It's about a deep inward journey where we have to go inside and look at ourselves like thoroughly. And I think in the process of writing the book, my book's coming out next year, it's this real journey through life to help us to connect to our potential. And I look forward to sharing a little bit more about it in the new year. But I wanted to really go inwards into my hermit. So this is just letting you know that it's okay to be that hermit. It's okay to go inwards. It doesn't matter if you're not on social media tap dancing for Mark Zuckerberg. It's okay to be at home. It's okay to be journaling. It's okay to not be where you think you should be and accept that that's part of the process. It's okay to be aware that there's somewhere else that you want to be and not be there yet, but be willing to show up to make those tiny little incremental adjustments that will get you there over a period of time. You don't have to be there tomorrow. The joy is in the journey. Like the last 15 years for me have been a gift. And trust me when I say, like, I wish that I was further along financially, in terms of security, in terms of career. But actually, I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. And I've been learning the steps bit by bit so I can come back and show you as well that we can do this bit by bit. I think there's so many people out there that look like this polished end result, but we're not seeing the in-betweeny stuff. We're not, it's like, one of the biggest things for me in writing my book and in sharing is that I don't want to be some pedestalized teacher. That's not what I'm trying to be. I'm just trying to be the girl who never really thought she was going to make anything of herself. The girl that found herself coming up against challenges and trauma and trials time and time again. And through it all, still managed to find the light within, still managed to create this life and these opportunities and see myself meeting this potential. So that's the angle that I'm coming at, is to help you wherever you are, whether you're stuck in the mud, in the depths and the darkness of your trauma. I know I've been there. I've been there on my knees with my head in the dirt, my face in the dirt, questioning, like really doubting life. And I've come through the other side and I've sat in that mud and bathed in the filth so that I can come back and help to guide you through it too. So you are enough, just as you are. You're exactly where you're meant to be. Use every day as an opportunity to learn and grow and make those small incremental changes towards where you want to be. And the truth is, you might not know. You might have that sense that you're here for more, but you might not be clear about what it is. So allow yourself the space to just visualize and wonder and dream. Your imagination is the thing that connects you to the wildest, most wonderful possibilities. Imagination is what birthed everything around us. So let yourself go into that space of mental, spiritual creativity in your mind. Visualize a beautiful life, and then every day take small steps to move yourself closer to it. If you want a more peaceful life, how can you find more peace in your days? How can you pick your battles more wisely? How can you create the necessary boundaries to support you move into a life of peace? If you're calling in a life of abundance, what does that abundance look like to you? Is it just financial, or is it in all the ways, in our relationships? Like, abundance is such a mindset. It's like if you can go outside with no money in your pocket and find the richness of life just here as we are, and show up every day like looking for that richness, looking for that beauty, looking for all those things to be grateful for that are just there even when we've got no money in our pockets, then you are rich from the inside out. And then anything else that comes is a bonus. I found the most beauty in my life when I was in the most physical pain and with the least amount of financial resources. And when I found that true beauty and joy and contentment in that moment, I knew that anything else that would come would just be a bonus. Because we can seek and we can search and we can go looking for all of these things on these journeys and on these paths. But then we end up forever seeking and searching. So find the beauty and contentment in where you are. And again, it all brings it back down to, like, just as you are enough. With all that you have right here, right now, that is enough. Start seeking the beauty in it. And when you start shifting to that mindset of looking for the beauty in life, everything changes. I'm still sitting here living with a spinal cord injury and fibromyalgia and, just the chronic pain and the other stuff that comes with it. But every day I'm programmed now to look for the beauty in life. So I'm making relationships with the trees outside, the nature that surrounds me, the plants in my home, listening to the birds, finding the beauty in the bird song. Yeah, finding that real light that comes from within and from the natural that surrounds you. Even if you're in a city, I live in a big city, I'm in a busy area, but just finding those little pockets out there to just find the beauty in. It can be really transformational. So yeah, I think that's about it. Just remember to take the time, take a breath, connect with the here and now, and remember that you've already got it all. Big love, peace out, and come and connect with me. I'll put a link in the description. See you soon.